We interrupt this program for an ABC 3340 storm alert from the Weather Authority.
It's 8:06. I'm James Spann. We have a new tornado warning for parts of West Alabama, so we're back on the air and programming. This is a look at the current radar, and the tornado warning involves parts of Sumter and Greene counties in West Alabama. We have the possibility of a tornado near the Alabama-Mississippi state line. This will be crossing through parts of northern Sumter County, crossing the Tombigbee over into northern Greene County. We note there's broad rotation here in Greene County. The warning is for this rotation that is about to cross over into northern Greene County or northern Sumter County. Now, the warning does not include York or Livingston or Utah. Utah is here. That's Interstate 5920. York and Livingston not in this. Utah not in this. Forkland and Bolagie not in this. This is for the northern part of Sumter, the northern part of Greene counties, and extreme southern Pickens County right here. This includes the far southern part of Pickens County. This is the Sipsey River right here. This is the border between Pickens County and Greene County. And again, you can see that just clips this far southern part of Pickens. This includes Benevola, Jenna, does not include Aliceville, does not include Gordo or Reform, any part of northern Pickens County, doesn't include Carrollton. So a tornado warning currently in effect for northern Sumter and northern Greene counties. This will include places like Union and Clinton, Mount Hebron, West Greene, Gainesville, on the Tombigbee. All of these locations are north of York, north of Livingston, and north of Utah. So this is the first tornado warning we've had in just a little bit. So what I want to do is go back and show a larger view. Taylor, if you're just joining us here, we're back on the air after spending a lot of time with you during the day today. And again, you can see across the state we have a lot of rain in progress, but so far we've not had that much severe weather since about 6:30 or 7 o'clock this evening. Some locations getting heavy amounts of rain, thunder, lightning. We do note there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of northwest Alabama's Lamar, northern Fayette, and Marion counties for a storm cluster there. But other than that, the storms have been under severe limits. But we should note, we still have a high risk, level 5 out of 5 for parts of the state tonight. The Storm Prediction Center did not downgrade that. We still have a PDS tornado watch. That means this is a particularly dangerous situation. So far, quite frankly, this system is underperformed, and nobody is griping about that. We had great concern that maybe as early as this afternoon we might see a few long-track tornadoes. That's not happened. We've had tornadoes, yes. Damage, yes, but we've not had a major type tornado day, and we hope it stays that way. But the main dynamic support of the system is coming in. But this is a messy convective pattern here. Instead of these isolated cellular type thunderstorms, the supercells, we've got these embedded rotation areas within these large masses of rain. So it's kind of messy, but we'll get you through this. So again, in terms of warnings, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Marion, all of Marion County, northern Fayette, northern Lamar. And the reason we are here, it is a tornado warning in effect now for northern Sumter and northern Greene counties in West Alabama. Taylor, so back over to you for just a moment while we get us over on the Facebook.
Okay, sounds good. So we are watching for our area this tornado warning that does cover northern Greene County. That does include the city of Union. This is really along and to the north of I-20 is who was included in that warning polygon there. Utah, you are not included in that. Bolagie, you are not included in that. Forkland, you're not included in that either. This is going to be moving in from Mississippi. I'm going to turn back on the storm relative velocity here. This is coming from the Columbus radar, and we're watching this circulation right here. This is the circulation that prompted that warning, and it's going to keep moving northeastward. So as I pull a storm track on that and give you kind of a relative time of when you can expect this rotation to move towards your location, it's going to be moving about 30-35 miles per hour. These are just relative times, so if you're in this polygon, you should be in your safe place already at this point. Don't wait for this time that we're showing you here. Head to that safe place now. But you can expect this center of rotation to move towards Fair Oaks at 8:23, Ridge at 8:37, and West Greene at 8:37. At this point, we're watching this little area of rotation right there that has prompted this tornado warning. So I want to zoom you down and give you some of the cities that we are looking at in northern Greene County. So this includes the city of West Greene. This includes Clinton, Lewiston, Jenna, Ridge, Crawford Fork. You're right on the edge here. I think this passes north of you as it continues on that northeastward track. It's going to move close to Gainesville here in the next few minutes as well. And since we've come on with this tornado warning, I do want to point out that rotation has broadened out just a bit, but like we've seen all afternoon and into the evening, these storms are oftentimes cyclic. So that means that we can see kind of a loosening up of that couplet, and then next couple of scans, it could tighten right back up. So I'm going to switch over here to the Birmingham radar and see what kind of view we can get from that on this system here. And it does look like we're getting that better, more clear picture from the Columbus radar. So I'll keep us on that. And reflectivity, as we look at that, this isn't the classic hook like we've been seeing with some of the storms earlier this afternoon, but you can kind of see right there, that's a little bit of a hook, and this is where we have that rotation near Giles, about to head towards Geiger here pretty soon, crossing very close to Fair Oaks. And I want to point out that this tornado warning polygon does include extreme southern Pickens County. It does not include the city of Aliceville. Aliceville, you're not included in this warning. Cochran, Clark, you're not included in this warning. But as we move back towards that storm relative velocity here, we can get that more clear picture. And the center of circulation does appear to be moving across 17 here. We're in Sumter County, and it's going to be moving towards Greene County. So,
hey, Taylor, I'm sorry, let me interrupt real quick. Dennis back in the back, if you guys can get us live on Facebook, that would be great. Thank you so much. Thank you. They'll make that. Back to you, Taylor. I'm sorry.
Okay. So that is that center of rotation that we're watching very closely there. For those of you who are just tuning in, we had just done that live update, and we had said that we were watching for the potential of additional tornado warnings. And right as we came off air from that live update, we got this warning in. So that's why we've broken back into programming early. So you can see this warning polygon here. It does include portions of Greene County, portions of Pickens County. So it's going to continue moving northeastward. Other than that, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for some of our northwesternmost counties. That includes Marion County, northern Lamar County, and northwestern Fayette County. And I want to take us there because they are dealing with some gusty winds over 60 miles per hour. And we are also watching this line carefully. No tornado warning at the moment, but with this line structure, we could easily see some of those brief spin-up tornadoes. So that's what the National Weather Service has also indicated. This is a line that we're going to have to watch carefully right along here. At this point, not seeing any circulations that are particularly concerning. This is mainly going to be a damaging wind threat for you. Elsewhere, we've got heavy rain falling. We've got a lot of lightning. It's loud. It's wet out there, but no other severe weather at this point besides that severe thunderstorm warning and then this tornado warning for that circulation that's just now crossing over the Mississippi border into Alabama. Worth noting, it does look like there's a stronger storm over Autauga County that will be approaching Chilton County here pretty soon, but there's no warning on this. Heavy rain, likely some small hail. We'll see if there's a severe thunderstorm warning out for that storm here pretty soon, but that will likely be crossing over the border into southern Chilton County here pretty soon, and that's one of the areas that was hit hard with some tornado warnings earlier in the afternoon. So heads up, another thunderstorm on the way for you. At this point, it is not severe warned. Let's move back to that tornado warning here, crossing over the border from Mississippi into Alabama. And at this point, it's moving through Sumter County towards Gainesville. And I want to put on that velocity here. It almost looks like we're starting to see two separate couplets here, a little bit of rotation showing up here near Geiger, and then a second area of rotation to the north of Union with this storm. So let me put on that reflectivity and kind of see what we've got going on there. Potential we could have another little bit of rotation here north of Union. That's going to keep moving northeastward. This is the rotation here, though, that prompted the warning as it crossed over the border into Alabama near Geiger. It's going to be crossing in between Fair Oaks and Gainesville here pretty soon, and then eventually crossing over the border into Greene County near Mount Hebron. Did I say that correctly, James? Mount Hebron?
Yes.
Okay, I think I misspoke and said that city wrong earlier in the afternoon, so I apologize for that. This could be moving towards New West Greene here near Mount Hebron, Clinton, Lewiston. So all of these cities in northwestern Greene County, if you live along 14, this circulation is going to be moving towards you here pretty soon. Let's check the correlation coefficient, see what we've got going on with that, see if we're showing any indications of a tornado that has been on the ground. And fortunately, at this point, I'm not seeing any very strong indications that we've had a tornado on the ground at this point, but that could easily change, as we've seen with these these separate storms all throughout the afternoon. Very cyclic, so sometimes we'll see that couplet really tighten up a bit, and then other times we will see a broadening out a bit. Let's change radar views here. I want to see if we can get some different views on this storm because it's pretty messy at this point. This is a pretty messy looking storm. Doesn't have that classic structure like some of the storms we were dealing with earlier in the afternoon. And I'm going to change over that BMX radar and see if we can get a more clear picture of what's going on here.
We should mention, too, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Watauga County. So you talked about that. And again, that's down to the south. So, but again, the reason we're here, it's the warning that's in effect for parts of northern Sumter and northern Greene and extreme southern Pickens County. This does include extreme southern Pickens. You can see the northern edge of the polygon here. This is the Sipsey River that's the boundary between those two counties, Pickens County here and Greene County here. And of course, the city of Tuscaloosa is right here. And should this thing stay intact, obviously you'll have to watch that. Tuscaloosa's had a few tornado warnings today. There's been no damage in the city of Tuscaloosa today. There's probably some damage up in the northeastern part of the county. But again, Taylor is circling the reason that we're here. This is the area of rotation on radar that's prompted this tornado warning. It is not a really super tight major tornado-looking couplet on radar, but still, something like this, you might see a small tornado, and these have been cyclic, and again, you'll see them ramp up and ramp down, but this will likely cross the Tombigbee fairly soon north of the town of Gainesville, which is right here, and then that's going to be coming out across the northern part of Greene County, and this is going to be passing north of Interstate 5920, so we're not calling any traffic issues on the interstate right now. If you're on 5920 in West Alabama, we should mention we are on our partner radio stations in Tuscaloosa. We're on Alt 1017, 95.3 The Bear, and 92.9 WTUG. We're thankful for our partners because, again, that is marvelous having us on radio, simulcasting that so you can hear us in your car. If your power goes out, it's a great service that they provide for us. So thanks to our radio partners in Tuscaloosa. The main highway that you don't want to be traveling on right now is Alabama Highway 14, which runs between Utah and Aliceville. And that part of Highway 14 to avoid is between Clinton and the Sipsey River. So don't travel on Highway 14 between Clinton and the Greene-Pickens County line for about the next 20 minutes. Other than that, the roadways out here are relatively rural. The main interstate system, Interstate 5920, is right below the polygon. And again, if this maintains its current track, yes, it could wind up in western Tuscaloosa County. Ralph is here, Foster's, Romulus, Coker, Buell, and Elrod. Those are the classic cities out there in the western part of Tuscaloosa County, and we'll be watching this carefully to see if it maintains its identity. And again, it's really messy. This is a messy convective pattern. Sometimes it's clean, where you've got these isolated, beautiful supercells you see on radar there by themselves with all the structure and the hook echoes. But sometimes you get all this big mass of rain with these embedded circulations, and that's what we have tonight. This is a lot harder when you've got a pattern like this messy convective pattern. So it's going to be tough issuing warnings, but we have to be vigilant here because, again, we still have a high risk of severe storms, level 5 out of 5 from Birmingham west. And we have a PDS tornado watch. Again, that means this is a particularly dangerous situation. So that's the situation here. But again, the reason we are with you, it's that couplet right there that's going to be running right up through northern Greene County, crossing the Tombigbee north of Gainesville. The circulation is now a little to the east of Geiger, which means if you want to travel Alabama Highway 17, that is the main north route through Alabama, over there near the western border, you're okay. That's Highway 17 right here. The circulation is east of Highway 17. So it's east of Geiger. And again, that'll be crossing the Tombigbee north of Gainesville, coming up through parts of Pickens County. Again, some of the communities in Pickens County in the polygon would include Lewiston, Pleasant Ridge, the town of Union, the town of Snotty. All of these communities are north of Utah, north of U.S. Highway 11 and U.S. 43 in Greene County. So just be aware of that, be in a safe place. And again, if you live in a trailer, you've got to leave. I know that's inconvenient. The last thing you want to do at 8:20 on a Wednesday night is get up and leave your home. But if you live in a mobile home or a trailer, you don't have any choice because those things go airborne, and a car is the worst place to be. A mobile home is the worst place to be during a tornado. So hopefully you've got a community shelter nearby, and if you don't, pick a gas station that's open 24/7. There are a lot of gas stations down here on the interstate, Highway 14, Interstate 20. You got a lot of gas stations there. I ate a hot dog from one of those gas stations one time, Taylor, and it was good, too. You got the Union exit, Green Track over here. There's a lot of businesses here, so you can move from a mobile home down into these 24/7 businesses down here that would offer shelter. And this is not going to last that long, but you just don't want to be in a mobile home. They can flip, they can go roll over easily, and so much of the loss of life in our state has come from cars and mobile homes. You look back in Lee County in 2019, of the 23 deaths, 19 of the 23 were in mobile homes. Again, it's a marvelous place to live, great affordable housing, but you cannot stay there during a tornado. So no cars and no mobile homes. And if you're in a site-built home in here, we want you in a small room, like a bathroom, closet, hall, on the lowest floor of the house, near the center and away from windows. That's the concept. And we want you wearing a helmet if you have one. We also would like for you to have a portable air horn in case you need help, and hard-soled shoes, not crummy tennis shoes or not bare feet like I have often when I go home, but hard-soled shoes in case you have to walk to get help over a tornado debris field. And if you don't have on hard-soled shoes, that will just tear your feet up. So the couplet will be crossing the Tombigbee in just a matter of minutes here. The Tombigbee River is the border between Sumter and Greene counties in West Alabama. And from there, it's going to be into northern Greene, and we'll see if it maintains its structure and its identity coming up into Tuscaloosa County. So let's go to a big view with the radar, the reflectivity. And you'll see what I mean by a messy convective pattern. It's just a mess. And if you're on the eastern side of the state, things are quiet over here. Not much happening. There is a pretty big storm in northern Autauga. It's been a rough ride for people down in Billingsley today, and Pine Level and places like that. Boone's Chapel, Marbury, over and over and over. These severe storms have come out of Dallas County to northern Autauga County. This is probably producing some pretty large hail right now. And again, that'll be moving through northern Autauga. That's a severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning. Severe thunderstorm warning for northern Autauga. This is north of Prattville, and heavy rain and falling in parts of Chilton County right now. There have been some pretty serious damage in parts of Chilton County today. A lot of folks down there have had major damage. A few folks have lost their homes earlier today, and the Weather Service will go in tomorrow and start the survey process to see how many tornadoes we had today. What were they rated on the Enhanced Fujita scale, the EF scale? And we'll find that out in coming days, but we'll keep an eye on that. But back to the big picture. If you're in East Alabama, we have no real problems on the eastern side of the state, mostly just light rain falling over here. The heavier rain on the western side of the state, and again, this is where there's good dynamic support with this upper trough that's approaching, providing ascent, rising air parcels. And we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for much of Marion County and northern Fayette.
And if you notice, James, they have just canceled that tornado warning, so I wanted to point that out.
Okay, that's good. Good, thank you. I love good news. So a severe thunderstorm warning for Marion County, northern Fayette, and the tornado warning has been canceled. That was in effect for northern Sumter and northern Greene. And again, within this big rain mass, could you have a significant tornado? Yes, you can. But often you don't. I mean, the good thing about this, you just don't want to see those isolated, discrete supercells out there by themselves. You know the ones I'm talking about. We work many events like that. But in a big rain mass like this, typically the tornadoes are not the really upper end ones. But again, you might have one tonight. There's still the chance of a violent long track tornado. We're not ruling that out. But looking at this pattern here, that certainly looks a little better to us here in the weather office. So we'll be watching all of this, and there's going to be some rotation. There is no doubt. I think we're going to have at least 3-4 tornado warnings tonight, maybe more than that. And we'll have to come back on the air. But at the moment, there are no active tornado warnings in the entire state, to my knowledge. In fact, let's do a regional look real quick before we go back to programming, Taylor. Yeah, this is great. There's not a single tornado warning in effect for the entire state of Alabama. A severe thunderstorm warning up here for parts of Marion County, or most of Marion County. One for northern Autauga. Got a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings down in South Mississippi. But at this moment, on a high-risk evening, we have no tornado warnings in effect for Alabama or Mississippi. So at the moment, we're living right, but please don't let your guard down. Understand we could have some tornado warnings late into the night, maybe after midnight tonight. There could be a tornado warning at 1, 2, 3 a.m. So for those of you, old people like me that go to bed early, that would like to go to bed early. I mean, I don't sleep, but if I were home, not doing late news, I'd go to bed early. if you go to bed early, be sure you have a method of hearing a warning in the middle of the night. And that's not going to be some siren a mile down the road. It's going to be a weather radio in your bedroom if you have one. And if not, be sure on your phone you have wireless emergency alerts enabled, WIA, under notifications. And those are very loud, and those will wake you up. So be sure that you've got a way of hearing warnings, because you do not want to miss a warning at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. on a high-risk event situation like this, where we have dynamic support for major tornado activity tonight. But again, at this moment, here we are at 8:26, and I don't have a single tornado warning in effect for the state. We're blessed if that's the case. I did not expect that to be this way tonight, but that's the way it is right now. But heavy rain is falling. There could be some flooding over here in West Alabama. The rain rates are tremendous. Some locations have picked up over 3 inches of rain overnight, last night and during the day today, so watch out for flooding. But again, a severe thunderstorm warning for Marion County. This storm is moving up out of the county, basically up toward Winston and Lawrence and Franklin counties. And I've heard of no reports of damage from this, but still for a few more minutes, that severe thunderstorm warning for northern Autauga. And for now, that's it. So we have no tornado warnings. So we are going to go back to regular programming. Should we have another tornado warning, we'll come right back on the air and stay on the air with you. But for now, no tornado warnings, but do not get far from the TV set, because we will be back. And if we don't have a tornado warning, the next update coming up on the top of the hour at 9 o'clock. I'm James Spann with Taylor Serrano back in the ABC 3340 Weather Center.
This has been an ABC 3340 Storm Alert from the Weather Authority. We now return to our regular programming already in progress.